back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a Am I the Asshole Reddit relationship edition. So I'm going to be reading the dilemmas that people submitted to Reddit about their relationships, whether it's friendship or romantically. And I'm going to give my unsolicited opinion about their life. Yeah, I also have some McDonald's poutine and a sundae. Honestly, I didn't even really want McDonald's, but I'm always hungry belly, so here I am. And I need to delete this Uber Eats app, because it just takes all my money and I'm gaining weight, and when it's summer and I'm supposed to be losing weight too. Ask me if I've gone to the gym. Matter of fact, don't ask me. Okay, so the first dilemma. Am I the asshole for not accepting my friend's extreme concerns over my relationship with a white guy? I freaking hate these forks. I'm Mina, 20 female, and I have a friend called Nadia, also 20 female. Obviously, these are false names. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was thinking. We met at college and instantly became friends despite being very different personality-wise. This has caused friction between us for a long time, but I've always ignored it in favor of our friendship. A few weeks ago, I met this amazing guy, Jack, 25 male, at the beach, and it was love at first sight for the both of us. Love that for you. He's simply amazing. No toxic masculinity, no modern day male nonsense. He doesn't even have a social media account apart from LinkedIn. Wow. Okay. Now I love this, but Nadia thinks this makes him sort of a dork. She thinks I can do better than a dorky white guy and asks me constantly what I see in him. She started posting vague tweets about me and him. Things like, I don't like seeing baddest brown bitches with white men, etc. Nadia has started making fun of my BF's hair. He looks like a golden retriever, but in a very good way. His jumpers, his shoes, even his job. He works at a freaking museum. How cool is that? But all this isn't good enough because he hasn't got a fresh fade or paying outfits and other stuff. I confronted her recently. Damn, this is long. I confronted her recently and told her stop making fun of Jack, as I really like him, but she sat me down and told this extreme concerns about my relationship, as the title implies. She told me to dump him as I can do better, and that it was hot girl summer and that I should really date someone from our own community instead. She's now saying that I have internalized racism due to which I find Jack attractive, and that he only fetishizes me. Nadia also started going off on me for being intimate with Jack as I lay with the colonizers. She's okay, wow. This made me see red for a second, and I said a lot of nasty stuff to Nadia. Now she always bullies me into doing things she likes, tries to force religion on me, makes snide remarks, and makes weird-ass passive-aggressive TikToks. She started saying I'm leaving her for a guy and that I was betraying myself and our people. Now at this point, I feel bad and wonder if I am the asshole for shouting at her instead of calmly walking away or explaining my point. I also wonder what happened to her to make her feel so strongly about these things, so I kind of feel bad about that as well. Am I the asshole? This is so confusing. Wow. That's an interesting one. First of all, she's not your friend. I think your friends are supposed to give you their opinion and maybe their, express their concerns to you because they want the best for you, but I mean, I feel like she's really overstepping boundaries, and boundaries are super important in any type of relationship, whether friendship, professional relationship, partners, anything, you need to set boundaries. But she's definitely overstepping her place, and I feel like when she's pushing things on you like religion, or saying that you're laying with the colonizer like that, I mean, maybe she's saying these certain things as a joke, but then to tweet about things and to make TikToks, like, that's weirdo behavior. She's not your friend at all. What kind of friend, even though it's a subtweet, or like she's not explicitly saying your name or directly adding you, like, she's still, for people who know the situation, you, your other friends, whatever, like, she's calling you out unnecessarily, and it's hurtful. Like, she's going out of her way to hurt you, I feel like. Like, there's something about obviously taking advice from your friends and listening to their opinions, and, you know, sometimes it can give you some insight into, like, a side that you didn't really consider, which can be helpful. But then I think there's your friends, like, really coming for you, which I think she's doing. So yeah, she's not your friend, you're not the asshole. My other thing is, like, what was so extreme? Like, what was her extreme concern? The fact that you fell in love with a person who's not from your same culture? A person who's not of your same, like, ethnic background? Like, does that really matter in this 2022? Like, obviously we know to some people it matters. Like, racism is still a thing. Especially, like, it's surprising somebody who's 20 years old is saying that. Like, she obviously, you mentioned that, like, you don't know if she's gone through things that made her think a certain way, and I think that honestly she probably has. Like, she probably has some internalized hate within herself that she's, like, putting onto you, and that's just not fair, and she needs to work on that. Yeah, I don't think you dating outside of your race, outside of your religious background, it's not wrong. I don't think there was anything extreme that she pointed out, like, nothing that should break you up or that needed to be pointed out. He seems like an amazing guy. I would keep the relationship going if you like him enough, and it seems like you do, so it's all good. Oh, okay, so there's an edit for this dilemma. I decided to call Nadia to give her another chance. You're a better person than me, because you wouldn't catch me doing that. She started saying how I was wrong to date out of the religion of Islam. Women can't marry out, and dating is haram. When I explained how she had a BF too, she said that it was different and it was done with intention to marry. I told her I'm with Jack with an intention to marry too. She went quiet and then started crying. That's a little manipulative. She said I'm going astray and that I'll never see Jannat if I married a non-Muslim. She also said I'm leaving Allah for pleasures of the world. I told her to STFU. Nadia has now threatened to tell my parents about it. I haven't told Jack yet because I also don't want to hurt his feelings. Yeah, you shouldn't have gave her that second chance. Yeah, she's manipulating you. She's trying to manipulate you, and she's trying to, like, getting your parents involved when you're a whole grown woman. No, like, shame on her. Like, that's ridiculous. If she does end up telling your parents, I would try to warn my parents ahead of time, because it's better coming from you than anybody else. It's definitely easier said than done. I know I grew up with very strict Christian parents. Yeah, I would definitely try to get to my parents before she does, and she makes it worse than what it is and makes it seem worse than what it is. Cut her off after that, because she's being ridiculous. You're definitely not the asshole. Don't judge me. Dilemma number 2. Am I the asshole for seeing my relationship as not worth it? So I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years now, which to me isn't that long, but to her is quite a while. The first year and a half was great because we saw each other 2 or 3 times a week for a decent chunk of the day and got along real well. But in the last year, roughly, things have changed. Her parents started up a hobby farm to which they were going to retire and is two hours away. She has to spend a lot of time there because of the work that needs to be done with the animals. This has meant that for the last few months, I have only seen her once a week and on occasion once every 2 weeks. I work and study, so my weeks have things on, as well as my sport on the weekend, and she also has a part-time job and studies, hence why we only see each other once a week. Am I the asshole for not wanting to date someone I barely even see and barely talk to? I'm 21 and I don't see why I should be so committed to one person at this age. Not to mention, as a result of not seeing her much, the interactions are awkward. Okay, first of all, 3 years is a long time, but being 21, I think that's actually not a long time because you have so much life to live. But then again, if I was in a relationship at 21 for 3 years, I would say it was a long time. So honestly, I actually don't think you are the asshole. I think you should actually break up. You don't see each other. You don't see each other. You barely talk. It's awkward when you do talk. Like, it just seems like the relationship isn't serving you and you're only in it because she thinks it's been a long time and maybe you don't want to be the bad guy and break up after 3 years and hurt her feelings. And honestly, I applaud you for that, but like, you have to think about what's best for you. Like, if it's no longer serving you, then what is the point of being tied down? I think also, like, if it's really meant to be, as corny as it sounds, it'll be. Like, you guys will find your way back to each other. And that's that on that. Dilemma number 3. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to move back to her own country if she won't learn my language? Yes. Help me settle this. I'm Dutch, 28 male, and my girlfriend is Italian, 25 female. We live in the Netherlands in a city where you can get by even if you speak only English. She's living here for 5 years and we are dating for almost 2. She speaks no Dutch and makes no effort to learn. Even simple phrases or greetings, she won't bother with them. I didn't really care in the beginning, but as time goes on, I find myself thinking that it's strange that someone can live in a place for years and refuse to learn the native language. She says Dutch is difficult, sounds ugly, and she doesn't need it for her work or social life. So what's the point? That's all true, but for some reason, it still bothers me. This morning, we were talking about where to travel on a holiday and the topic of language came up. When I suggested showing her a part of the Netherlands that she hasn't seen, it pissed me off when she joked that she wants to go on a holiday somewhere she doesn't have to hear Dutch. It left a bad taste, so I said, let's talk about this later, and tried to end the conversation. That didn't go as planned. She followed me asking me why am I acting like this over a joke, and eventually it turned into a big argument. She asked me why does it matter when pretty much any Dutch person speaks English anyways? Why do I even care? I said how would she like it if I moved to her country and refused to learn her language? She said if Italian sounded ugly like Dutch, then I would get it. In the heat of the moment, I said, if that's what you think, then maybe you should move back there. I don't really feel that way. I was just angry, but she said this crossed a line and doesn't speak to me now. Am I the asshole for what I said and also for being pissed that she won't learn my language? No, I think you're both the assholes. She shouldn't have said that Dutch is ugly. She shouldn't have said that she wants to go to a place where she doesn't have to hear Dutch. If somebody said that about Tigrinya, I would be hurt. Like, if my partner said that, I would be really hurt and I would be really bothered, and it would make me feel like less than and like really like ashamed, and honestly, like, I wouldn't want to be with them. So I get it, but also you control your reactions, and I don't think you had to react like that. You could have just said, like, give me my space for now and we'll talk about this later. I get that she was following you, but you really have to like be assertive in that, so that she knows that like right now is not the time, like you're not in the right headspace to have a mature conversation. I think that she was also immature in not only what she said, but also in how she reacted, like not speaking to you anymore. She's being very ignorant to what she is saying, and how it comes off to others hearing it, like how it came off to you. A conversation definitely needs to be had if you guys are going to continue a relationship, because you don't just not speak to each other. You have to not only draw a line with like the disrespect, but then also draw a line with whether you guys are together or not. Communication is like extremely important, and I think this is a prime example of that. Your reaction was an asshole move, but why you reacted wasn't an asshole move. She was the asshole for that. Okay, I think this is gonna be the last dilemma. Am I the asshole for refusing to punish or allow my wife to punish our son? This all started back in March. My son's best friend turned 13. In his family, 13th birthday is a huge deal. In addition to a massive party, which all 4 of us were invited to, his parents also took him to Disney World. They invited my son to attend as well. My wife was hesitant to consent to this. She said it was unfair to allow our son to go when our 9-year-old daughter can't, especially since she loves Disney and princesses. I said that our kids won't always have the exact same opportunities. If we set a precedent here, we'll have to stick to it if and when our daughter gets a similar opportunity. So we just be punishing both our children needlessly. My wife reluctantly agreed that we should allow our son to go. I gave our son money to get his sister some souvenirs. He did, and his friend's parents even bought extra stuff for him to give to her as well. Still, when she saw him come back wearing a Star Wars shirt with the Mickey Mouse hat and trading pin lanyard, she burst into tears. My wife later said we made a huge mistake and never should have let him go. I mistakenly thought all of that was behind us. Now we are not well off financially, but my brother-in-law is, and he invited us all to visit a beach house he rented for the summer send-off. My wife told me she wants to have our son stay with my dad and just take our daughter to even the score. I told my wife that isn't happening. We are their parents. We can't favor one child over the other. Not being invited to the birthday trip of a kid you barely know is in no way comparable to being left out of a family vacation. And I'm shocked that she would even suggest such a thing. I refuse to allow it. Now my wife is angry, but I don't care. I'm not punishing my son for being lucky. Am I the asshole? You are definitely not the asshole. Your wife is, for whatever reason, favoring her daughter over her son. Maybe it's the mother-daughter relationship, which I can understand because I'm super close to my mom, but I would never exclude my son if I had a daughter and a son, and I would never expect my mother to exclude my brother if I had a brother. That, like, 1 + 1 not adding up here. First of all, family time is most important. I don't know why she felt like it was comparable in any way, because it's not. It's really not. Obviously, it's not nice to see like your kids crying, but them being of different ages, they have to know that there's gonna be things that the older kid can do and the younger kid can't do quite yet. If anything, like, the family vacation would hurt my feelings more. Like, I'd be less, as a kid, I don't know, I'd be less understanding of not going to a family vacation. Family is family. They're not supposed to exclude you. For me to be sitting at home with grandpa, like, that's worse than not being able to go to a birthday party. You're not being the asshole. She is. I'm so sorry about it. Okay, guys, I think that's the end of this video. Leave a comment down below with your opinions on the dilemmas. I would actually really love to read what you guys think about some of these situations. Maybe it'll give me like a perspective into the problems that I never thought about. Maybe these people aren't really the assholes and I'm the asshole. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. My socials are in the description box. That's the end of this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye!